Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl, Cinnamon here, the original Cinnamon Girly. I am actually thinking about changing my name on here to my Instagram name, which is Cyrens, Cyrensss, simply because I just want to be uniform and Cinnamon is like, I don't know. I'm thinking about changing it, but that is my music name. But anyway, let's get into the topic of this video. I wanted to talk about how to improve your speech. And this is just what I'm thinking about doing because I was watching old videos of myself on my old YouTube channel. And honestly, I just did not feel like I was presenting myself the best. Um, I, I think that it was very obvious that I was not super confident, and you could kind of just see that in my mannerisms and in my speech. You could hear it in my speech, and the ways that you could hear it in my speech were I just did not speak with authority. I was speaking through a smile, which is something that I always tend to do, which is not necessarily a bad thing because I am a happy person, so I don't think it's a bad thing to smile a lot and speak through a smile when it is appropriate. Also, I think that I was always in a rush to speak, which is something that has come from my childhood. Well, I won't necessarily say through my childhood, but just in interacting with the people that I interacted with as a child and coming into adulthood. For instance, like, I would always be cut off when I'm speaking, and that is something that really irritates me even to this day. And to avoid being cut off when I was speaking, I would just kind of speak faster and not really use up a lot of time to think about my responses. I would just go ahead and respond and talk at the speed of light. And in that, I feel like my responses were not well thought out and they just were not respected. But it's not because what I was saying didn't matter, it's because the person that I was speaking to was disrespectful in that way. And I noticed that even when I'm talking to people now as an adult, I am 25 years old, I'm still like speaking super fast, like trying to just get it out because I don't want that person to interrupt me. And I'm like, I have space in conversations to say what I need to say. And if a person cannot even respect me enough to let me get it out without interrupting me or trying to finish my sentence, then do I even want to speak to this person? Like, that is so disrespectful. So, as I was looking back on those videos, I am going to be implementing a few things, and I want to say it's three, but I'm not for sure. But anyways, so let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to be implementing, I don't know if you can notice it now, and I may not do it as harshly moving forward, but definitely I'm going to be like consciously doing it now, is enunciating all of my words. Like, I'm going to be allowing you to hear every single syllable in the word. And I feel like that would just help me be more understood. Like, um, looking back, I think that all of my words kind of went together. And I do think that that is something like regional and cultural. Because in Houston, we do speak kind of fast. And at least in my part of Houston, um, we don't necessarily open our mouths as wide or as I'll say open as they should be when we're talking. We kind of let them like part slightly, and I think that that is a southern thing. I think that that's part of like where accents come from, like how why do you allow your mouth to open when you're speaking? So I am consciously pronouncing every syllable in the words that I'm saying. I'm trying to enunciate very clearly and very obviously. And this is just an exercise that I'm doing, because I don't know if you could just hear it, but when I just said this is just, it kind of all fell together, and I feel like that is a huge problem. People ask me all the time, what did you just say? And I feel like sometimes it's really hard for me to say certain things just because they come out super fast and kind of all together as if they're one word when they're really not. And okay, sidebar, growing up I did have a stuttering problem, but I think that it's just because of how fast I was moving. It's not something that I was super insecure about, but it is something that people kind of noticed, like at least a little bit. um but I will say that it was pretty common as a child for people to have stuttering problems. Okay, moving on. The second thing that I'm going to be doing, I said enunciating my words all the way. The second thing that I'm going to be doing is putting bass in my voice. That is a very that is quite the way to say it, but I'm going to be deepening my voice because my voice is naturally light. It's always been light, and it's been light since it got even lighter when I was going through puberty for some reason. But if I'm just talking regularly, then this is how I would sound like. And it's kind of obvious that my voice is super light. I think that that also contributes to why you can't hear me. So when I'm speaking, at least publicly, I'm going to be putting a lot more bass in my voice. I think that this will also help me when I am trying to um, talk over the phone, because I do talk on the phone sometimes for work, and I do hear a lot that they cannot hear me because my voice is super light. And it doesn't help that I speak super fast as well. Well, I don't speak like super fast, but I do speak kind of fast as well. So it takes a lot of effort to actually listen to what I'm saying. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is enunciate all of my words. The second thing that I'm going to do is put bass in my voice. The third thing that I'm going to do, and I kind of already said this in my first point, but it is to open my mouth when I speak. And that takes a lot of effort to do. I don't know why I speak with my mouth shut, but I do. And I noticed that even when I went to vocal lessons, because if you guys do not know, I am pursuing music. I'm in the very beginning stages of trying to learn how I like to record, and just getting used to going to the studio and recording. You can hear one of my songs on my YouTube channel here actually. Um, so yes, just opening my mouth, and that also helps with enunciation. So when I was watching the videos, I would just kind of like notice that, okay, my mouth barely moves. And also when I was taking vocal lessons, one of my critiques from the instructor I was working with at the time was actually shape your lips for the words that you are trying to sing. So that is something that I learned when I was in choir as well. For the letter O, you need to shape your lips in the shape of an O. In the letters, and it just goes from letter to letter. So that is also something that I'm going to be trying to do. Okay, and there's one more thing that I'm going to try to do, which I think will be the most difficult, because it is something that I am very used to, regionally, culturally, and just individually, is slowing down my speech. And this is something that I think comes with just developing the conviction and confidence as a fully grown woman, knowing that what I'm saying is important. And it does matter regardless of how people have tried to make me feel. For instance, the person that I was telling you guys about, that when I was growing up would always cut me off and would always interrupt me or try to finish my sentences, when I would tell them, even in my early 20s, like I said, I'm 25 years old, hey, like, don't cut me off, I'm not finished speaking, they would even tell me, well, hurry up and get it out, hurry up and finish up. And I'm like, bruh, just wait. Like, and I'm even getting frustrated now just thinking about it. Toxic trait. But yes, so just understanding that what I'm saying is important and that I do not have to hurry up and say a damn thing. Because you should just be patient enough to wait and have a full conversation. A conversation is listening and responding. I feel like I'm a really good listener, and I'm working on being an even better responder. So those are the things. I think that was 5 things that I'm going to do consciously over maybe the next 3 or so months to really improve my speech, and I hope that you guys can see that in my videos. Please let me know what you think, and let me know if you can clearly understand me. Maybe go back to some of my old videos and let me know if you can hear the difference, and also if you have improved your speech as you've grown and improved yourself, then let me know some of your tips and tricks, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.